So Alfred Stieglitz, for a while, was married to probably one of the most famous female American painters. Her name was Georgia O'Keeffe, and she was known for painting these massive, massive flowers. She lived, I think, near Santa Fe. Is that New Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay. She lived out there and was completely mesmerized by the flowers that she saw, but she felt that people in the city, New York, wouldn't see them in the way that she saw them. She painted them really massively, and they would fill that entire wall, and because that's how she saw them in her head, these massive, beautiful things. And one of the first times she met Stieglitz was she'd sent him some paintings, and he'd hung them without her permission, and she'd come to the gallery and said, "Okay, Mr. Stieglitz, you need to take all these down." And he said, "And who the hell are you?" And she was like, "I actually painted them." But there began a relationship between them, and one of the first things she asked him for was, he said, "What can I get you?" And she said, "The sky." And I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but he went on to photograph, the first person to do this, like hundreds of photographs of clouds, and beginning with, like, you could see the land and the sky, and then eventually he just turned his lens upwards, and it's just, he was completely mesmerized by the clouds, and he called the first batch of photographs of clouds music, and then he called them equivalent, because they were the equivalent of what he felt. I think about God, and also I think about Georgia O'Keeffe. So he also photographed Georgia O'Keeffe. He photographed her hands, her feet, her neck, her breasts, her face, and he was the first person, again, to almost deconstruct a person and photograph them in all the little fragments. And it was quite a thing, because he exhibited these photographs, and they were, in those days, it was pretty risque, because it was like a naked lady, and she became quite infamous for being photographed, but then people recognized her brilliance in painting. So anyway, I wanted to write a song which expressed probably how Alfred Stieglitz felt about Georgia, and they were separated for a long time, and she went and lived in New Mexico. He was a lot older than her, and then he died, but I think there was a love right to the end, So this is called Georgia O'Keeffe. I hung your flowers in 291. I sensed a kindred soul. I breathe unspoken appetite to break the tired molds. You stirred me to reveal myself, express the great unknown. Instead I caught your beauty in each fragment that I'd shown. It takes time to see a friend, Georgia O'Keeffe. Don't ask me for the gift of sky when all I have is cloud. What's caught within the camera's eye cannot be said aloud. We danced inside each other's light. You spoke with shapes and colors and filled each space with pure delight, each bloom a precious lover. It takes time to understand Georgia O'Keeffe. Oh pioneer, oh visionary, spoiled me for the ordinary. It was hard to lose a friend, but there was love until the end. Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia